The Military Equipment of England, a journey through history and modern advancements. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where we geek out over military history and tech. Today, we're diving deep into England's military kit, from the trusty longbow to the stealthy submarines lurking beneath the waves. England's military might has shaped world history, and its gear has evolved in some seriously cool ways. So, if you're into heavy metal, of the armored kind, and high-tech wizardry, stick around. Let's journey through time and see how England's arsenal has morphed over the centuries. Alright, let's wind the clock back to the medieval times. You know, when knights in shining armor weren't just a fancy metaphor. The English longbow, a seemingly simple stick and string, was a total game changer. At over 6 feet tall, these yew wood bows could launch an arrow 250 yards. That's over 2 football fields. At the Battle of Agincourt in 1415, English archers unleashed a hailstorm of arrows on the French knights. The longbow could penetrate armor at 100 yards, and a skilled archer could fire up to 12 arrows per minute. Talk about rapid fire. Then we have the armored knights, the medieval equivalents of main battle tanks. Decked out in plate armor weighing up to 70 pounds, these guys were the heavy hitters. Their armor was so well crafted that it could deflect swords and even early firearms. Mounted on powerful warhorses, knights were the shock troops that could break enemy lines. Jumping ahead to the 17th and 18th centuries, England ruled the waves. Ships like HMS Victory weren't just sailing vessels, they were floating fortresses. Launched in 1765, the Victory carried 104 guns across 3 decks. Those 32-pounder cannons could hurl iron balls over a mile. In the Battle of Trafalgar, 1805, Admiral Nelson's tactics and the firepower of ships like the Victory decimated the combined French and Spanish fleets, securing naval dominance. Wooden ships began to give way to ironclads during the Industrial Revolution. The introduction of steam power meant ships no longer relied on the wind. The HMS Warrior, launched in 1860, was the Royal Navy's first armor-plated, iron-hulled warship, mixing sail and steam power. Armed with rifled breech-loading guns, it could fire more accurately and reload faster than muzzleloaders. World War I brought trench warfare nastiness, but England had an answer: the tank. The Mark I tank debuted in 1916 at the Battle of the Somme. Weighing in at 28 tons with a top speed of 3.7 miles per hour, don't laugh, that was fast then. It was armed with either 2 6-pounder guns and machine guns or just a bunch of machine guns. It could cross trenches and crush barbed wire, giving infantry a moving shield. World War II ramped things up. The Supermarine Spitfire became a legend during the Battle of Britain. With a top speed of 370 miles per hour and armed with 8.303 Browning machine guns, the Spitfire's elliptical wing design gave it superb maneuverability. Pilots loved it, and so did the nation. But battles aren't won by planes alone. Radar technology, specifically the chain-home system, provided early warning of incoming Luftwaffe raids. Operating at 20 to 55 MHz frequencies, these radars could detect aircraft up to 120 miles away. This allowed Fighter Command to scramble squadrons effectively. And let's give a nod to Bletchley Park's codebreakers. Using machines like the Bombay, designed by Alan Turing and others, they cracked the German Enigma cipher. It's estimated that their work shortened the war by 2 to 4 years. Not too shabby for some math geeks. Now, let's step into the present and check out what the British Army is packing. Meet the Challenger 2, the heavyweight champ of Britain's armored forces. Weighing about 62.5 tons, it's armed with a 120mm L30A1 rifled gun. Unlike smoothbore guns, the rifled barrel gives the projectile spin for greater accuracy. The Challenger 2 holds the record for the longest-range tank kill, nailing an Iraqi tank at 5.1 kilometers during Operation Telic in 2003. Its Dorchester Level 2 armor, fancy Chobham composite, provides exceptional protection against kinetic and chemical energy attacks. The Warrior infantry fighting vehicle is no slouch either. Introduced in the late 80s, it transports infantry while offering fire support with its 30mm Rearden cannon and 7.62mm coaxial machine gun. With a top speed of 46 miles per hour, it keeps up with the fast pace of modern warfare. Upgrades have added better armor and electronic systems, ensuring it remains effective on the battlefield. Artillery is still the king of battle. The AS-90 self-propelled howitzer boasts a 155mm gun with an effective range of about 24.7 kilometers using standard rounds and up to 30 kilometers with extended range ammunition. It can fire 3 rounds in under 10 seconds, thanks to its autoloader. Mobility and firepower make it a key asset in providing support to ground forces. On the individual level, infantry soldiers carry the SAW-80 rifle series, specifically the L85A2, A3. Chambered in 5.56 by 45mm NATO, it features a bullpup design, meaning the action and magazine are behind the trigger, allowing for a full-length barrel in a shorter weapon, great for urban combat. The A3 variant has improved reliability, a full-length Picatinny rail for optics, and weighs about 4.4 kilograms unloaded. The Royal Navy's pride and joy are the Queen Elizabeth-class aircraft carriers, HMS Queen Elizabeth and HMS Prince of Wales. Displacing around 65,000 tons and measuring 280 meters in length, these carriers are essentially floating cities. They house up to 1,600 personnel and can carry around 40 aircraft, including the F-35B Lightning II. These carriers use an integrated electric propulsion system, allowing for better efficiency and reduced acoustic signature, a fancy way of saying they're quieter and harder to detect. Beneath the waves, the Astute-class submarines are silent hunters. These nuclear-powered subs don't need refueling over their 25-year lifespan. At 97 meters long and displacing 7,400 tons submerged, they're armed with Spearfish torpedoes and Tomahawk cruise missiles. The Astute's sonar suite, Sonar 2076, is reputed to be so sensitive it can detect ships leaving harbor before they even cast off. Okay, that's a slight exaggeration, but it's incredibly advanced. The Type 45 destroyers are among the most advanced air defense destroyers in the world. The Samson radar, perched atop the distinctive pyramid-shaped mast, can track hundreds of targets simultaneously. Armed with Sea Viper missiles, they can intercept supersonic threats at ranges over 70 miles. Looking ahead, the Type 26 frigates will replace the aging Type 23s. These frigates are designed with modular adaptability in mind, focusing on anti-submarine warfare but flexible enough for other roles. They'll feature the new Sea Scepter missile system and a mission bay for unmanned vehicles. The Albion-class ships, HMS Albion and HMS Bulwark, are landing platform docks crucial for deploying Royal Marines and their equipment. They can carry up to 305 troops normally, with a surge capacity of 710. Their well dock accommodates 4 landing craft utility vessels, and they have spots for helicopters like the Merlin or Chinook. Eyes to the skies, people. The Eurofighter Typhoon forms the backbone of the RAF's fighter fleet. With a max speed of Mach 2, that's about 1,550 miles per hour at altitude, and a service ceiling over 55,000 feet, it's a nimble and potent platform. The Typhoon's Captor radar provides multi-mode capabilities, and the new Captor EASA upgrade enhances its detection and tracking. Armed with a variety of weapons, from AIM-132 ASRAAM and Meteor air-to-air missiles to Paveway IV precision-guided bombs, the Typhoon is versatile across mission profiles. Then there's the F-35B Lightning II. This 5th-gen fighter brings stealth into the mix. The F-35B's STOVL capability allows it to operate from carriers without catapults or arrestor wires. Its sensor fusion and data link capabilities make it a force multiplier, sharing info in real time. For heavy lifting, the RAF's got the Boeing C-17 Globemaster III. With a payload of up to 77,500 kilograms, it can move tanks, helicopters, you name it, across the globe non-stop over 2,400 nautical miles. The Airbus A400M Atlas fills the tactical niche. It can carry up to 37 tons and operate from rough airstrips. Its turboprop engines allow for slow-speed operations and aerial delivery missions. The Chinook HC-6A is the RAF's heavy-lift helicopter. With a top speed of 196 miles per hour, it's one of the fastest helicopters around. Its dual-rotor design allows it to operate in high altitudes and hot conditions, perfect for places like Afghanistan. The Apache AW-64E Guardian is the latest and greatest attack helicopter. Equipped with the Longbow radar, it can track up to 128 targets and prioritize the most dangerous ones. Armed with Hellfire missiles and a 30mm M230 chain gun, it's a formidable asset. The E-7 Wedgetail, set to replace the E-3D Sentry, will provide advanced airborne early warning and control. With 360-degree coverage via its multi-role electronically scanned array, MESA, radar, it can offer real-time intelligence over a wide area. Now, let's sneak a peek at the kit used by England's elite. The SAS operates globally, often in hostile environments. Their weapon of choice includes the C8 SFW carbine, customized with suppressors, advanced optics like the EOTech holographic sight, and infrared laser aiming modules for night operations. They carry ballistic plates in lightweight vests, and their helmets often feature integrated communications and NVGs, night vision goggles. The AN PVS-31 binocular NVGs offer better depth perception, critical during nighttime missions. Specializing in maritime operations, the SBS uses mini-submarines like the Mk8 Mod 1 SDV, swimmer delivery vehicle. These underwater vehicles transport operators covertly to their target areas. On the surface, they use high-speed craft like the VSV, very slender vessel, capable of speeds over 60 knots. Their diving gear includes rebreathers like the Dreger V, which don't produce bubbles, maintaining stealth underwater. England isn't just keeping up with military tech, they're pushing the envelope. From the angular design of the Type 45 destroyers reducing radar cross-section to the use of radar-absorbent materials on aircraft and ships, stealth tech is key. The F-35B's stealth features allow it to evade enemy detection and strike with surprise. Cyber is the new battleground. The UK has established the National Cyber Force, NCF, combining MOD and GCHQ resources. While much is classified, it's safe to say they're involved in offensive cyber operations to disrupt adversaries' capabilities. The Protector RG-Mk1, the UK's version of the MQ-9B Sky Guardian, is set to replace the Reaper drone. It offers longer endurance, up to 40 hours, and can carry a mix of weapons, including the Brimstone missile and Paveway IV bombs. On the ground, autonomous vehicles like the Terrier Armored Digger are being tested for tasks like route clearance and reconnaissance, reducing risk to personnel. Advanced data networks like the MOD's defense information infrastructure enable secure, high-speed communication across all branches. Systems like the Shadow R1 provide tactical ISR, intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, equipped with sensors that can detect and identify targets from high altitude. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? England is a key player in NATO's collective defense. They've contributed forces to the NATO Enhanced Forward Presence in Eastern Europe, providing deterrence against potential aggression. Collaborative programs like the Joint Strike Fighter, F-35, involve multiple nations sharing the development costs and technological gains. The UK's involvement ensures access to advanced technology and strengthens alliances. The military's versatility shines in humanitarian missions. During the Ebola crisis in 2014, the UK deployed personnel and equipment to Sierra Leone, setting up medical facilities. The A400M and C-17 aircraft were pivotal in delivering aid swiftly. Eyes on the future, the Tempest program is aiming for a sixth-generation fighter jet by 2035. Features might include direct energy weapons, hypersonic missiles, and swarming drones, controlled by the mothership aircraft. AI integration and adaptive camouflage are also on the table. The Type 31 frigates, also known as the Inspiration class, will be modular and adaptable, with a focus on exportability to boost the UK's shipbuilding industry. Existing platforms aren't being left behind. The Challenger 3 program will provide the tank with a new turret, improved 120mm smoothbore gun compatible with NATO standard ammunition, enhanced armor, and upgraded sighting systems. The MOD is exploring hybrid and electric propulsion for vehicles and ships. HMS Tamar and HMS Spey, Batch 2 River-class OPVs, have catalytic converters to reduce emissions. Artificial intelligence is being tested for applications like predictive maintenance, analyzing large datasets to anticipate equipment failures before they happen. In space, the UK's Skynet program, no relation to the Terminator, we hope, is enhancing military communication satellites, ensuring secure and reliable links worldwide. So, there you have it, a whirlwind tour of England's military equipment, from the days when a strong bow arm was a soldier's best asset, to now, where data and stealth rule the battlefield. England's military has always been about innovation and adapting to new challenges. Whether it's developing the first tanks or integrating AI into future fighters, they're continually pushing the boundaries. It's clear that military equipment isn't just about the hardware, it's a reflection of a nation's technological prowess, strategic thinking, and commitment to defense. Thanks for sticking around till the end. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more content like this, smash that like button and hit subscribe. Got thoughts on England's military tech or want to share your favorite piece of kit? Drop it in the comments below. Let's get the conversation rolling. Stay tuned for our next video where we'll explore the cutting-edge tech of another military powerhouse. Until then, keep learning and stay curious.